If there's one actor that epitomizes method acting, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. But why and how? Hello, welcome to Organic Acting. This is method acting according to Daniel Day-Lewis. You stay alive, because I will find you. No matter how long it takes, I will find you. As part of the naturalism movement, Russian practitioner Konstantin Stanislavski had devised a method for creating a slice of life on stage, allowing actors to experience rather than play act or pretend. This method worked its way to America, where practitioners such as Sanford Meisner, Lee Strasberg, and Stella Adler took elements of Stanislavski's method and made them relevant and practical for performers working on screen in the 20th century. Performers such as Marlon Brando, Montgomery Clift, and even James Dean. Real moments, actors experiencing rather than pretending. Sounds good to me. Now, although not of that American actors fraternity, Daniel Day-Lewis began to develop his approach through work at the National Youth Theatre and the Bristol Old Vic, an approach I would argue that is steeped in method. First, we're going to look at how Daniel Day-Lewis uses research to learn new skills that are appropriate to the character. This is a cornerstone of method, or rather, moving beyond the basics of learning your character's lines and repeating them on set. Throughout Day-Lewis's career, we can see evidence of extensive research. For 1992's The Last of the Mohicans, he learned to live off the land, hunting, survival techniques, camping, fishing, hand-to-hand combat, firing, reloading, and maintaining weaponry, even going so far as to craft canoes. This commitment clearly brings a deeper understanding and appreciation to the actor. More specifically to Daniel Day-Lewis's technique, it allows him to feel more at home, physically, mentally, spiritually, rather than just faking. Next we have character voice. From Room with a View.
I somehow think that you feel more at home with me in a room. Never in the real country like this.
To The Last of the Mohicans.
With Huron full Senegrin to taking all the furs of all the animals of the forest for beads and strong whiskey. Those are the ways of the Yengeese and the Francais traders.
From In the Name of the Father.
And I walked away from you. Do you remember now? I walked away from you into the dressing room. You followed me in there, and you said again, Jerry, did you foul the ball? And all the other fathers were in there. They were laughing at you.
Gangs of New York.
And I rose back up again with a full heart and buried him in his own blood.
There Will Be Blood.
Do you want to find someone else that's going to come up here and drill, Eli? Make the investment and do all the hard work that goes into it?
And Phantom Thread.
A Welsh rabbit? With a poached egg on top, please. Not too runny.
Each of Daniel Day-Lewis's character voice choices and accents are unique and nuanced. Harking back to our previous example of research, Daniel Day-Lewis uses the opportunity for voice to not only reveal character and bring realism to his performance, but also to support the reality of location, time period, and class.
Us natives, born rightwise to this fine land, or the foreign hordes defiling it.
Voice is an essential part of the method, as well as Stanislavski's building a character, a specific part of the process that can only be mastered through study, repetition, and practice.
Where to put your dryer? Place your dryer at a distance from gas ranges, stoves, heaters, or cooktops because flames can damage the appliance.
Moving on, we have living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. All the method acting techniques in the world are not worth the paper they're printed on without an actor's ability to respond truthfully to the world around them, the time, the place, even the other characters around them. There are countless stories of Daniel Day-Lewis staying in character in between takes, of using his will to embody and live as a character throughout a film shoot. While some of these stories may have been exaggerated for the sake of headlines, who can deny Daniel Day-Lewis's truthful experience during the filming of My Left Foot? The story goes that Day-Lewis once again refused to break character during filming. This included never leaving his wheelchair, being spoon-fed and moved around the set, as well as being lifted over camera and lighting wires. The general gossip around these stories is usually one of awe or absolute disdain. Oh, how self-indulgent, how dangerous. But from the standpoint of an acting analysis, this approach requires hard work, commitment, and clearly gets results.
Carlos, I do love you.
Oh, you mean platonic love.
Last but not least, we have character over actor. In method acting, realism, and naturalistic performance, there is the belief that as actors, we never truly lose ourselves. That any performance is garnered from parts of ourselves. However, we've spoken before about Robert De Niro submerging the actor to bring the character's traits to the forefront. Well, Daniel Day-Lewis is no different. Watch any interview with the actor and you will find a softly spoken, meandering, even scatterbrained individual. Far removed from the likes of Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York, or even Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood.
The contrast between those two things, which is always something that's like food and drink to me. You see somebody whose life is lived at one and the same time in that strange paradox of public and private.
This is the sign of a successful, committed performer, a true method actor, one who is able to transform before our eyes and is mercurial from role to role. Do you have a favorite performance by Daniel Day-Lewis? Do you use any method techniques in your own performance? And also, would you like to see more of these method acting videos? As always, if you could leave me a like, share, subscribe, it really does help me. As always, I've been Chris and I will see you next time. Bye bye.